Hey, bust it down, brown community wall. What's up? bust it, bust it, bust it down, brown. Bust it, bust it, bust it down, brown. Wiggle, wiggle, shake, shake, wiggle, wiggle, shake, shake. Bust it, bust it, bust it down, brown. I want to say good morning because I wasn't here at morning time, but I'm still gonna say good morning because I'm starting my day right now. So, good morning, everyone. Hey, atmosphere. What's up, Lily Rat? Mm, I'm always eating something, huh? I'm sitting here enjoying a nice little cake pop that I shouldn't have bought. Freaking $3 just because. I hope everyone's well. I'm doing well. Ooh, I shouldn't have ate that while I'm talking. Cause man, Jesus. Oh, that thing is sweet. Ugh. I knew I should have left that damn thing right there. Ugh. Whew. Let me bring myself back to life. Ugh. I would love that when I was younger. Oh my God. I can't even talk right. Why are they selling those things? Mm. Lord have mercy. That was the sweetest crap I ever tasted in my life. Man, wasted money. I could have probably paid for 32 kilowatts of something. I'm gonna quit. 10 seconds of air conditioning with that $3. I hope everyone is doing well as you come in to my chat. I really appreciate you guys for showing up for my little meat talk today. Hey, Maritza. I was listening to Gary Bust It Down Brown Community Wall, his live that I missed. I think I might have been knocked out. I'm not sure, but I missed it nevertheless. And I don't even know when that live was. Was that yesterday morning? I probably was at court. Anywho, I listened to it to pull me through my last hour at work, and it was a very good live. I really, I know how we do. We have to piggyback off each other, but I thoroughly enjoyed that live, Mr. Bust It Down, if you're still in here. Okay? I really did. And I thought it was cool because I remember you said that in the chat the other day, Miki, you are the Storehouse, and then boom, here's the title. You know how we do. But I like that, for real, for real. It was real good. It's a lot of the points. I always like how you apply your topic to each person in your chat as a form of, I feel most times it's prophetic, but as a form of encouragement, we all need a little encouragement and hope. Oh, ooh, or what have you. All I want to do is pull something up, and I'm up here seeing stuff on the internet that I wasn't expecting to see. That is tea, baby. What's today's date? When the last time I talked to y'all? I don't even know. Should I be asking how was y'all weekend? I want to ask anyway. How was everybody's weekend? Hope it was good. Don't he, Marissa? Up here looking for a community wall. He need to just write the book. All that valuable information in the storehouse, and he want a community wall. Uh, we need a part 1, 2, and a 3. Gary, where you at? Are you in the bushes? Hi, my YouTube cousin. I promise that would never, ever, ever in life get old. All my YouTube cousins that came out the bushes. But it really had me thinking a lot as I was trying to finish out the mandatory extra hour we had to work. Man, let me tell you something. Tonight, I gotta get some clarity. Because if at the end of the week when my overtime kick in don't give me overtime, I'm leaving. Do y'all know how hard it was for me to drive to the house this morning? I'm programmed to get off at 5:30, so I'm good driving down that 30 minutes. That's what my body is conditioned for. But to work an extra hour and then have to drive that 30 minutes and then be stuck in traffic and that 30 minutes turn to like an hour, let me tell you something. In the great words of my favorite little YouTuber, Ava, baby. Ain't nobody been trying to be out there on that highway sleepy like that because I was sleepy. And I know I was sleepy because I could feel it. Like if I had to just blink too long, I'd have been snoring on 64. I can't be living like that. I cannot. And it hurt. I'm like, why are y'all forcing us to stay an hour? It ain't even like we had a whole abundance of work or anything. Well, I hope you feel better, Marissa. You are healed in the name of Jesus. We ain't claiming sick. Don't speak to the illness. Speak to the healing, sister. Don't speak to where it hurts. Speak to where it's healed. We got healing in the storehouse this morning. Yes, we do. Girl, I'm telling you. You are there. Stop it. You are exactly where you say you are. You are not getting. No, I'm just kidding. Take your time, girl. But I still don't believe that. I believe you're there. Wherever you think you're getting to, ma'am. If it's healed, then you're healed. It's just taking it a little time to catch up. You know what I'm saying? You gotta catch up to where you at. I really don't want to start talking if I'm gonna start. I gotta sneeze. And I lost it. So I already know. Right in the middle of one of these sentences, and I'm gonna have to apologize in advance because, man, yeah, we gotta take breaks. That's what I was sitting here thinking. Like, I wonder if they still gonna allow us to pick up extra shifts this week since they giving this extra hour. And I'm like, well, if they don't, you can just rest. But I'm still in that mindset right now. Honestly, I can't rest until I get my place because it's just not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen, you know. Um, I wish I had it before now, but I didn't. You know, I had an obstacle that I had to shift about my way. So what I say earlier on when we start going live, shift happens. Shift happens and we got to fix it and keep on moving. And that's what I did, you know. Just think if I didn't get the blessing at church, it would have probably taken me a little bit longer. So praise the living Lamb of God. for that. Listen, it's this apostle in Charleston. He used to always be like, "Praise the living Lamb of God." And I used to be like, why are you putting such emphasis on the B in lamb and a T on the end of God? Who is you talking about? The living Lamb of God. But last night when I was listening to Gary's live, I just began to think about what are some things that I have stored up in my storehouse. You know what I'm saying? And the biggest one right now for me, I have faith in abundance. You know what I'm saying? Even when I get a little shaky or feel a little uncertain, I still recognize that my faith stays intact, even when I get a little scared, because we get scared sometimes. I don't allow fear because God's not giving us the spirit of fear. So therefore I can't bow down to fear ever, because if I do at that moment, I will not move. So being paralyzed is not an option for me. So yes, I get scared, but I do it trembling. See what I'm saying? I don't care about um possibly failing at something. I don't care about what if it don't happen? What if it don't go my way? I don't care about none of those things. It's like it doesn't I think about it, sure, but I don't care enough not to move forward in those things, if that makes any sense. Hey, realist, what's going on? I don't care enough to allow those things to make me back down from what it is that I know that I'm moving towards, what I know that it is that God has promised me, what I know, what is something that I've made a personal goal to set out to do. Now, what I will say in this faith journey, this portion of it anyway, I definitely, yeah, expect the unexpected has been like a poster child, you know what I'm saying? But even in that, expected unexpected, sometimes most of the time it's been good. But for those things, not saying that it's bad, but it was definitely just something unexpected. Something sometimes we okay, say for instance, when people say, "Oh, you need to save for a rainy day, you should have 6 months of rent and enough money to pay your bills up for 6 months." And I'm sorry, realistically, that's not uh something that my life has ever been. Will it be one day? Probably, but it ain't right now. So when the unexpected happens and I ain't got that end that I need to meet, it's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? However, comma dot, it does not cancel out my faith. You know what I'm saying? And I guess today I'm like, man, okay, so since Brother Gary talking about the storehouse, I'm like, well, what's in what we cooking up? We cooking up faith today. This is the place where we going if you ain't got no faith, we gonna see if we can get that faith activated. And if you got that faith and you're running a little low, we gonna stir it up. Okay. We gonna stir up our faith today because everybody needs that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, it only takes faith the size of a mustard seed. And like man, if you ain't never seen a mustard seed, go buy you some. It ain't enough to look it up online and see it. You have to hold that mustard seed to really see how tiny that thing truly is. I had a mustard seed that they had this man gave us at church one time. Miraculously, I was able to hold on to that little seed for a long time. I don't know where it's at now, but but you would have thought, as little as it was, I would have lost it immediately. But I didn't. So I think that's how our faith is kind of set up. As little as we think that we have, it's still there. It still works. It still moves God. It still is a what's the word I'm looking for? It's still a conductor of the things that we can't see right now. The things that we're believing by faith that we don't know how it's going to happen, how it's going to come. It needs to be activated or active. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's why I say I think the stirring the stirring part speaks to the getting active. And I mean, I think that we all have a level of faith that are in this chat. But if for some strange reason somebody just really is that low, it might need to be activated. Sometimes we lose faith in things because we get dealt a huge blow. I think it was Diane talking about the loss of her grandma. That's how me and Diane kind of linked up. Excuse me. I should have muted. I'm human. I cough. But that's how we connected because I relate, you know what I'm saying? It's not fun losing the people you love the most. And for some people, I know that it didn't knock everything out of Diane, but I don't think at that moment she knew that it didn't. You know what I mean? So I will always encourage her. Every time I seen her in the chat, I would just encourage her. If she said she was feeling sad, I would just encourage her. And that's my girl. I love her much. And we're gonna keep on rocking out this grief piece because it doesn't go away. It just takes different turns, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. Sometimes you're just ugh. But I know that, through the love of those people that we have lost, well, I say because of the love of the people that we have lost, that's a unction to go all the more when you feel like you want to stop or give up. You just have to think, what would that person say to me? They're looking at me right now, ready to just throw in the towel and just give up on it all. What would that person say? And I'm pretty sure ain't none of them gonna say, "Yeah, lay it down, really. I'm gone. It's over. Ain't nothing else for you to do. Just go on and throw in the towel, buddy, till you see me again." No, they're gonna encourage you. They're gonna tell you you can do anything that you set your mind to, your hands to, whatever the case may be. So those are the things that I think allow us to move through moments of grief. And I say moments of grief because as much as we miss our loved ones, we're not always in that space of missing them. No, we haven't forgotten them, but it just be like sometimes it's there and then sometimes you're able to move around and you don't even see it until it comes again and you're like, oh, like I had a moment the other day. I think that it's like everything that I'm dealing with or moving through right now, I can't I grieve the fact that I can't share it with my parents. You know what I'm saying? I grieve the fact that I can't call my dad and say, "Hey, Dad, I'm doing XYZ. This happened." I grieve the fact that I can't call my mama, especially when I'm moving through different things, when I'm going through changes, when I'm um, setting new goals and reaching them. Those are things you want to share with your loved ones. So when they're not there, it's easy to have your faith to dwindle. I do believe. Have I felt that before? Heck yeah, because I never just you can't prepare for stuff like that. My parents were gone within a year of each other. It sucks. You know what I'm saying? It really sucks. So I relate. But I also think that the grief piece, although I'm still grieving through that process, if we're talking about what's in our storefront, I also think that helping others to move through their grieving process is something that is on a shelf in my storefront. Because as bad as it hurts, I've learned to understand it because I understand the cycle of life. I understand that we all have a sun up and a sun down. That every day we celebrate a birthday and we pass our death day. We just don't know the year. Once I got that in perspective when my parents passed away, it allowed me to process things easier. You know, I grieved that I couldn't, that I felt like I didn't cry as much with my mom that I did with my dad. Stuff like that. I don't think people realize that be a part of grieving. Your grieving is going to be different all the time, but it could be from people to people or instance to instance. But I think that when we identify what grief is and what it looks like for us, then that's just another um, step towards being able to deal with that thing that ultimately hurts us. I've learned to, even in grieving, find that thing about that person that makes me smile. You know what I mean? That helps you in your grief process too. Remember the good thing. Remember those lessons that they taught you. Remember the funny things that happened when y'all went out and did X, Y, Z, depending on who that person was that passed away. Grief it's not a final blow and an excuse to give up. It's a natural part of the process of loss that we have to continue to move and groove through. Okay? Okay. But now, Faith, let's talk about that. The reason why I feel like I have faith in abundance stored up in my storefront is because that's all I'm rolling on right now. If I was a car and the gas was running out, y'all know how we'd be like, oh, I'm running on fumes. Or how when I get off work and I take on them extra shifts and I'm like, man, I only been to sleep Sunday night at work. I'm always on fumes because I've been had an hour and a half of sleep and I got to push through a 10-hour shift, you know. But I feel like that's that thing that when everything else is running on fumes, I'm still holding on to my faith. Can I give you some of mine? No. But I can be your cheerleader and be like, we got faith. We got more than enough. So therefore, just because this didn't happen right now, don't mean it ain't gonna happen. Why am I slapping on my leg? I don't know. But I think that, we make everything, some people, well, I just don't know how to get my faith back. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Now faith. That just sounds so good. I just got stuck because I'm sitting in that one parking lot, y'all, when I was like, we need to sing. We seeing things in the spirit, and I was saying there's a food line, and I see my uh cosmetology continuing education center. So I kind of got through back a little bit. But the biggest way to stir up your faith is by hearing the word. Hearing the word. How do we hear the word? Well, for one, we can read it in our Bible. Two, we can look into listening to some of our favorite speakers that administer the true word. It can come through a song. It can come by conversation with me or Gary or Realist. It can come by other people's testimony. That all goes to by hearing. When I'm at my lowest, it's either that person I know I could call for those moments, or it's gonna be something I watch. Like I like to watch what's the one? The War Room. That movie does it for me. You know what I mean? I love when Miss Claire be teaching whatever her name was, Priscilla Shear, whatever her character name was. But I love when, the way she was teaching her as an elder and showing her how to fight against that wicked thing that she thought was her husband. When she showed her how to pray, when she went into her closet and made it a prayer closet, I love the way her daughter watched her, and then she went and repeated what her mother did, and she made her little girl prayer closet. I love it. That movie is like, it reminds me to pray. If my friends say, "Oh, my husband is da 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 da," any of my friends, I'll be like, "Girl, have you ever watched The War Room?" I refer people to that movie, okay? But that's just an example of how I stir up my faith. How I turn on some good worship music and I'm in the house going in. I can't sing, y'all know that, but I'ma sing. What I'm gonna be singing? All things are working for my good. He's intentional. Hey, hey. I'm running through the house. I'm singing. The music is blasting. And in a minute, I'm like, yeah. So that's what I'm offering in my storefront. I'm in here cooking up faith for all of us to grab onto. If you was feeling low today, we right here restoring our faith. We renewing our faith. We're remembering our faith. We're remembering that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Why? Because I believe. Because I trust him. Because I can. We know that he said no weapon formed against us shall be able to prosper. So therefore, our faith shouldn't be shaken either. He said vengeance is mine. So therefore, our faith and our fight shouldn't be wavering. It's already won. It's already won. The devil is a liar. God is exalted. Never be defeated. Never be defeated. Listen, I'm telling you, it's all types of ways to stir your faith. If you don't know how to do it, just imagine me dancing around the house to all her good faith stirring music. Imagine me calling her friend up like, girl, I'm feeling this way. And then she started talking to me, and then we just start celebrating life, celebrating God. That's how you stir your faith. You turn to God. Sometimes it's not going to be through your friends. Sometimes it's not going to be through the music. Although I feel like all those ways come by way of Him, sometimes you got to go to the source itself to stir up your faith. All right, God, I'm right here. You see what's going on. You know what's about to happen. I know you ain't gonna let me leave. You ain't gonna leave me hanging, Father, because you said you'll never leave me nor forsake me. So, hello. Why can't you talk to God like that? Why? I don't feel like any of us right now in this moment should be experiencing a lack of faith. And then just in the off chance that you are, Grab on to everybody's faith that's listening right now in the chat and just hold on. You know what I'm saying? Because what they say, trouble don't last always. Things ain't gonna always be bad. Everything is not bad. That's why I always say the example of how people, oh, 2022 was this, it did this to me. Oh, it was just the worst. I can't wait. Let's cancel 2022, 23, whatever. You're gonna tell me that you had 365 bad days? I promise you, if I had 365 bad days, I would want to cancel something else. Not the year. I'm canceling the devil because ain't no way in the world you're gonna tell me you had 365 bad days and not recognize that you are the common denominator at this point. 365 bad days and you cursed the whole year for probably 30 days out of 365. Because a lot of times the days that we claim are the worst be not that bad. You know, we'll go through things and act like it's the end of the world, and then we'll turn around and say, "Oh, but somebody else got it worse." That's a fact. If you are breathing and you're above ground and you're going through something, congratulations. Congratulations. Because life ain't supposed to be easy. There's things that we have to go through. There's things that we have to deal with, that we have to figure out. Because if we don't, how are we going to live to be a living testimony to somebody else? Do we think we're not supposed to share our testimony? A lot of us are jacked up right now because we're not willing to share. We're holding on to something that is for someone else because we're keeping it a secret. We're not telling people our business. Your business is God's business. And if your testimony can help the next person, you ought to be sharing it. What's the use in going through all the tests at the end of the day, Gary, if you ain't going to testify about it? I don't think I began to testify on here yet because I got a lot of them. And it's only through my testimony that I'm still sitting here. Had I held on to all that stuff and never shared, I'd be crazy as hell right now. I learned to deal with life as it comes. And I still ain't had it that bad. You know what I'm saying? Not enough to give up. I haven't had it bad enough to give up. I don't think any of us have because we still right here. We just like, babies. We going through life kicking and screaming because it gets painful. That squeeze hurts a little bit. It doesn't come. There it is. Now, really, you talking that talk about to have me outside the car, acting like I'm 51 and mother on the motherboard at church. Testify. I got the Holy Spirit. But it's the truth. I think when we start looking at, yes, I'm living this life, but my life is not my own. My life is not my own. How that song go? My life is not my own. To you I belong. I give myself to you. I give myself away. I give myself away so you can use me. I give myself away. No, I was kidding. I had to get extra and run out. But you know that song talking about God. If you didn't know, people. We belong to God. And when we give ourselves to Him to be used, then we agree to be a testimony. We agree to share what we went through. We agree to share how we came off those drugs. We agree to share how we overcame that grape. We agree to share how abuse from a older family member didn't cripple us. We agree to those things. Yes, and inside of families that probably told you, shh, shh, don't tell nobody. This is family business. When you give your life to Christ, when you give yourself away to be used, you agree. He didn't bring you out not to share it. He did not bring you out not to share it. He really didn't. I learned, what was that? I guess now about 30 years ago. When I was about 31. I used to always look at my parents as, everything that I am, everything that I do is because of them. Until I got that whole checking that told me your parents ain't got nothing to do with what you are supposed to do. You belong to God. He led you to them for His purpose, whatever that may be or have been. I had to come by way of them. He needed their DNA to create me, to put me on earth as the person He had already created me to be before He put me in my mama's womb. Now, guidance they're supposed to give us, yes, but nobody can tell you, not even your mom and your daddy, don't tell that part of your testimony because it's gonna mess up the family. Imagine how many people are stuck and bound right now for that very thing. Stuck and bound right now because it's been swept under the rug. But the one time they lift that rug out, what if you saved 30 people from going through what you went through, or for not staying in a space that you were in for way too long? And then those 30 people pick up and do the same thing you did. They lift up their rug. Like Gary said, we are all here to be a help to one another. We may not like each other all the time, but hey, that don't change what God would want from us. What happened when He requires you to help the one you don't really care for? What you gonna do then, bruh, sis? You gonna tell him no? Or you just gonna run? I need for all of us, if you ain't had that faith, get it popping right now. Don't put down what you've been believing for because it hasn't happened. Stick to your faith. Don't let go of your dreams because you don't know how you're going to do it or how you can do it. You know why? Because He makes a way out of no way. Get back to that word to stir up your faith. It's something, whatever you feeling in your faith walk right now, there is something in that word that will speak exactly to it. Go find it. I done gave you a few. I done gave you a few. I wish I had more time. I would have actually went in and found a lot of them and gave them to y'all, but I don't have enough hours in the day right now. You know what I mean? Between driving home, getting into bed, trying to sleep, trying to wake up, getting my laundry, getting a shower, getting out. I have time to look. I thought I had more juice on my laptop here in the car, and I don't. So I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I was in the kitchen this morning at work, And I was cooking up faith for my people to serve up out my storefront. I got enough faith to believe that each one of us have leveled up in faith today. And if you don't feel it right now, you'll feel it by 5 o'clock. Because you're going to get a test. You're going to get a test. And you're going to know by the way you deal with that test that your faith has been stirred. You got faith simmering right now. It's just good. I don't think we lose faith, honestly. And now that I'm just sitting here speaking, I think we just forget to remember. You get caught up in moving in the times when you probably should be still, and you forget your faith. You forget it because we get busy. And I think that's a human function. We handle a lot of things on our own. But in handling the things that we handle on our own that we're able to handle, we forget to give him those things that we can't. Or we forget to not pick up those things that he never told us to in the first place. A lot of us right now got dented faith because we're trying to carry our kids' stuff, our husbands, our wives, our parents, do that work, sits on the bus stop. We trying to carry stuff that wasn't assigned to us and is pulling on your faith for other people. So therefore it's missing in a space that you needed in for yourself. It was something on Gary's live. I think that somebody might have said something to the effect about not taking from everybody's storefront or something. I'm not sure, but it kind of made me think what I was just saying. How I don't think it's a matter of what we pick up from the storefront. I think it's how we utilize what we pick up from the storefront. It's not for everybody. And just because somebody can say, yeah, this is the storefront. But if you push the sign over to the side, it's called All Hell Break Loose Limited, Unlimited. You got to have discernment. Make sure that you definitely do have to make sure you are at the proper place, the proper landmark. Yes. But you also have to use your supplies wisely. You take what you need from your storehouse, which is in you, like Gary was saying, which is this another way of saying everything that you have need of is already inside of you. But you can't keep it inside. But when you take what you need, you use it accordingly. You don't take what you need, man, we're watermelon that, and give it to somebody else because you thought they needed it more than you. You take it from the storefront to equip you. Then, if you're supposed to, then you don't give them what you take it for you and give it to them because then where are you moving from? What are you operating from? Where are you pulling from? You just gave it away. So we have to make sure we got a corner with wisdom in our storefront. We all need wisdom in our storefront. As a matter of fact, put wisdom on the front, in the middle where they put all the candy at with the different flavors that make you buy it because it looks very interesting. And you want to get fat because you just bought 3 candy bars just to see how they taste. That's where we're going to put wisdom on those trigger shells. I partake of wisdom. God loves the cheerful giver. And being cheerful does not mean exhausting yourself in your giving and pretending to be, oh, I'm a cheerful giver, so I just give, give, give. I'm not selfish. I'm just going to give. You can't give what you don't have. Don't deplete yourself in order to try to restore something or someone else. Take what you need and use it accordingly. Your storefront might ain't supposed to serve everybody. That's why it is always important to know that even if it's one person, you've done well. Every time I say that, I just think about when it says he left the 99 for the one. And didn't say he left them two over there tied up because it was 2,500 over there. Let me go get these 2,500. Let me leave these over here. No, he went for that one. You get that one, guess what? There's an opportunity for you to get another one. Maybe we ain't supposed to be going after 10 at a time. Maybe it is the one. Maybe that one is going to bring back the 10, the 9 that makes it 10. We don't know how it works. We just have to be willing. We have to be willing to use what we've been equipped with for the glory of God. Right now, it's just like time out for bull crap. Time is shorter and shorter. When you gonna stop? When you gonna start? You got all this stuff stored up, but ain't using it. What you think gonna happen? You gonna run out? When you talk about that too, Gary, the woman didn't have enough for her and her family, but then she made the cakes and pies and yeah. You know how I do Bible. But when she began to pour that oil, what happened? It kept flowing. It kept flowing. It kept flowing. We can't get caught up in thinking we have to hold on to all this stuff that God has blessed us with in abundance and think that we'll run out if we give it to somebody else or if we spread it out the way He wants us to accordingly. We're the storefront, but all this stuff is supposed to reach the highways and the byways. People should be able to look and be like, man, that guy right there got it. That girl right there got it. You could tell. It's written all over her face. You could feel it from his heart. Gary got it. You really can feel it from his heart. That's why we pressure him to go live. Cause we've tired of reading and he talking about a community wall. Man, please press play and talk. Cause I only got 2 paragraphs in me, man, and I know you gonna write a chapter. And I'm gonna get tired and sleepy in the middle, and I'm gonna forget to go back and finish reading it. Then I'm like, can you read it to us? Yeah, but that's where I am today. I'm pulling on faith, my faith. I'm pulling on my trusting in the Lord because I know without a shadow of a doubt that everything that I have need of will certainly come in the expected time. And that's right on time. It might not come when you want it. Yes, I'm always talking about your community walk because I just think I'm sorry, it's tickling. Because I only think one person when I think community wall, it just cracks me up. So now when you talking about you want a community wall, I'm getting cross signals. And all I see is like 50,000 characters. That's like a book. I promise you, if I had some, this might be off topic, but I promise you, I'm going to tie it in. I had a faith, if I could type like all that stuff all day, every day, I promise you, I would have some best-selling books. Because I'm going to apply my faith to every single thing I'm writing. And I'm going to get it published. And I'm going to be sitting back watching the sales. Because I'm telling you, it be some good stories. Like, is this really happening? Or is this, what? Where does this come from? Psh, man, please. You better activate that typewriter and send it in. Write a book. You want to get paid? Write a book. The game is to be sold, not told. No, I'm just kidding. I told you, you got 3 of them in you. So, like I said, I don't know where you at in the process of writing your books, but I know you're supposed to be writing a book. I do know that much. I don't know why you sidestepping, walking the other direction, or whatever it is you're doing, but yeah, I know. Ah, shit. I don't, but hey, it be some keyboard annies out here that just might because they old school. Atmosphere done fell out the bushes. Oh my YouTube cousin. I just look at wasted energy and just know that, man. Do you know, man? Some of these people can light a fire with the energy they use. So just imagine if you apply that energy into something that can bring you some coins. For real, for real. Mm, shoot. I be seeing dollar signs in all the mess. I don't know about anybody else, but they say the wealth of the wicked stored up for who? I see it. I understand. I know it's one other thing that I was thinking about, and I can't remember. It was late. It was like almost 6 a.m. when I was listening to Gary's live, but he was like when he was talking about stirring up our gifts. It made me think about the man at the pool of Bethesda when they say that when the waters were stirred, that if you got in the water, you be healed and all those things. And I remember hearing a story, and they said he sat there for what was it, 30 years? Was it 30 years? I don't know. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. But he sat there too dang on long. I can tell you that much. But this man made me think about it. While he was looking for someone to put him in the stirring waters, he sat and he sat and he sat. And all Jesus did was says, "Will you be made whole? Take up your mat and walk." Anybody ever thought about this is the triggering thought, not triggering, but thought provoking. This is what provoked my thought with that story. We all waiting to get stirred, be stirred, stir it up, stir it up. We getting to the stir so we can be whole, so we can do what we supposed to do and all that good stuff. And we act like we can't get ourselves in the water. Just like that man that was sitting there all them years. Anybody ever wonder how he got there? It's almost like he got there and he sat down and said, "Okay, I need help getting in the stirring waters." It never said anything was wrong with him, except for he was sitting there waiting for other people to help him in. A lot of us are walking towards what we need, and then we stop and waiting for someone to help us in because we think we can't. Because we think we don't have what it takes to go ahead and get in that pool. We don't think that we're equipped to utilize the gifts that God already says will make room for us. We'll say it. My gifts will make room for me. But then we wait on man to stir it up. When God waiting on you to do it, to use it, he gave it to you for a reason. So that man, take up your mat and walk and be quiet. Shh, don't tell nobody. Yeah, I think that was just a trick to make him tell everybody. Oh, y'all down by the pool. Guess what happened? I'm just saying, y'all, don't wait for nobody to push you in. Take up your mat, take up your cross, take up your talent, your gift, whatever it is that you need to take it up and start walking. Some of us are not where we thought we'd be or want to be because we haven't been walking. Simple. We have not been walking. We have not applied the simple tools that he's given us to do those things. And that would be myself included. There's a lot of things at 51 that I feel like I could have, should have did, but I didn't, and I own it. Cause guess what? I can do it now. Cause I'm not gonna say it's too late. No, I'm just gonna say, oh, I'm not ignorant anymore. I know how to get myself in the in a pool of Bethesda. I know how to get mine now. I don't need nobody to hold my hand and walk me up there. I might need a couple people on the sideline, like, yeah, me, yeah, yeah, yeah. But if those people don't show up, I know God right there. Like, man, this is what I've been trying to get you to do for 30 years, girl. God, yes. Look at my baby. And that's the biggest applause you could have. Who could ask for anything more? So I pray that everybody does find that circle of friends that are there to encourage them, uplift them, cheer them on, share their stories in turn that will share their stories with you that will in turn cause you to be stirred to a different level of faith, that will cause you to pick up something that you put down. Because we all need it. You stupid Gary. But in the off chance that in a season that he don't want to put those people around you, he's all those people. So if you feel like you need 30 girlfriends on the sideline cheering for you, he's them. If you need 25 dudes, he's them. If you need a mother, a father, auntie, uncle, sister, cousin, he's all of them. His claps are louder. And when he begins to clap for you, I believe it pushes us further than we ever could be pushed by people. He'll put us in places and on the other side of doors that it should have took us 30 years to get to. But we have to remember that. All them girlfriends, and he still knew to ask for wisdom. Because he had to know what to do with them 30. No. Dirty 30. Absolutely. Storehouse, your heart. You think it was more than 30? Listen, people be like, let me make sure I came to the end of my words. Possibly. If it comes back. I ain't gonna say it's a close for that. But I mean people, namely women, they always be like, oh, I want a man like Solomon. He had all the God's favor. But they don't be paying attention to that part. You know, good and well, we would not be trying to share no deal with no 300 women. Oh, I want me a Boaz. His ass was old. I don't want no old ass. OLDAZ. Old ass. I love David. He was a man after God's own heart. He was a whore, a super whore. It's gonna be more than 210 because you don't have to deal with their issues with each other. That's the part they didn't put in the Bible. They removed that because I bet they was fighting. I got him on Tuesday. Well, in the old calendar, this was Wednesday, and I got Wednesday. Why you biddies over here fighting? I'm over here with my man, my man, my man. You 299 hoes better move out the way. I'm number one. Oh no, you ain't, cause I ride before you. I'm older. Can you mind? Heck no. These dudes out here can't even handle three right, let alone 300. But just think, most people were like that. People think, oh, Ruth got Boaz, but I think it just didn't talk about his concubine. That's the way it was back then. I'm glad that stuff changed. Cause sharing is not caring when it comes to my man, my man, my man. I don't care that much. It would be interesting. I don't think we would survive those times, like biblical times. Man, we all been and got our whatever chopped off or something. Earth done cracked open. We was going down to the bar, and Jesus said, "Not today." I mean, God said, "Not today." Earth just opened up, and we get sucked in. We would not be here. Hmm. He murdered that man, Bathsheba. No, I'm saying. We ain't about that life. We is not about that life for real. I just couldn't imagine it. But like Jesus had 12 disciples. He had a hairstylist with him. Man, Jesus, my feet hurt. When we gonna take a rest? I mean, I'm following you and all, but dang, we've been walking for how many days now? We can't stop for like 3 days at the Holiday Inn. Meet, go home. It was not tolerated back then, but guess what? It's just by grace that it's I don't think it's tolerated now. We just have grace by way of Jesus Christ. Because if it wasn't for the Lord, guess what? We'd all be swallowed. Have you ever felt swallowed? I'm still sleepy. This coffee got me on a million. Now, I'm just saying, us today wouldn't be able to survive that. The Bible says God is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. That does not transfer from, well, that was in the Old Testament. Mm-mm. When you get that revelation in your shanana that God is never ever changing, yeah, devil ain't take all our loved ones or friends or them people that was out here acting crazy. I don't believe that at all. I believe that God is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. He might not be cracking grounds, but hmm, he had a stylist. I don't. Hey, for real? Who is the stylist? Teach me, Gary Brown. Hey, Judas is just a hater all around, huh? He was weak. He fell for it. You ever wonder how come? Okay, atmosphere said sin was not tolerated back then, and I said sin is not tolerated now. Anybody know? I get never mind. Flesh is just weak. I about to say, do y'all know why would we just? We know something ain't tolerated, but we still do it. I wonder what is in our makeup. I mean, I understand we human in the flesh and all that stuff, but in my mind, why we still be doing stuff we ain't got no business doing? That's strange. Ooh, we got to fight harder. We got to fight harder. I don't know why I just felt like Gary was gonna say that. Just because I said Bathsheba. My daughter got a friend named Bathsheba. Bathsheba. I want to name my child that. That's another thing I wouldn't do. I ain't looking for no biblical character as no man, and I sure as heck ain't naming my kid after nobody naming the Bible because everybody gonna think they supposed to be like that person. And then when they be a little hellion, mm. Telling you that's what happened to Ti. Name them kids King and Messiah. I think Messiah's okay, but King, boy, Major. Even Major is okay, but King. Was she put oil on him with her hair? Is that the lady? Put the alabaster box. Look, don't be laughing at me if I get something wrong. This is a teachable moment. There are no fear consequences of certain sin. Aren't the wages of sin still death if we don't repent? Mm, I just heard double speaks. Talk your ish. That dropped in my spirit big. Let you quit what you do. I think so too, Gary, but for some reason I always say just because it looked like someone's doing well don't mean nothing. Well, that's not like how people look to some of these devil worshiping artists and think, I want that bag. No, you don't. I'll take the slow road before I give up my soul to wickedness. To have the glitz and glam, what it appears to be, but not knowing the suffering that goes on in the back. God's way is always going to be the best way. I don't care what it look like with the next person, whether they famous or the cousin down the street. That's why we all have our own individual journey. He has what he has for us, but it's attached to our journey, not theirs. I think that the spirit of comparison is what really messes people up and will cause them to fall into another level of sin that they might not have been there. Sooner or later, Gary. Nah, she ain't died. She started bleeding and cramping and all that good stuff. Shoot. I mean, he told her flat out, surely you won't die yet. That's the word he let off. He left off. Yet. It was consequences. Thank you, Eve. Well, I don't got that consequence no more. Hallelujah. But I'm just saying. I wonder, have you ever wondered, like, if none of that happened, how would it be? You know what I mean? Those things that, like, we would probably still be walking around here naked. And it don't look like nothing to, just to be, you know what I mean? Like how animals, they all have fur and they used to, okay, that's a dog, he has fur. Okay. I think it would be just like that. Now, I can't say we wouldn't have evolved into some clothing or whatever, but I'm just saying, like, if it was like that in that moment then, and it never happened, we'd probably all just be walking around so free. Oh my God. We'd be so free. Nobody would be talking about, oh my God, I gotta go to Macy's and get me a coat. I don't know. See, that's why my brain be going everywhere. Everywhere. Was you talking about that on your live, Gary? Did Eve die? Because if you wasn't, somebody said that on something I was watching in the last 48 hours. I think because we don't know. We don't know. Piece of the paradise, I guess. We only know what we see. We see pains of the world. God is attractive, and so is Satan's shit. It all look good until you get caught up in a way that, the way I see it is you can have it that way. God is not a Burger King God. Have it your way. It's his will be done. But you can have it the other way. He ain't got to glorify God. You ain't got to do nothing. You can have it. You can be on top. You can have it all. And when God get tired of you playing like he didn't want you to in the first place, he just kicks it all down. And for some people, they so arrogant and self-righteous, I think he let them go way up. That's why I'm happy where I'm at now, and I'm gonna be happy wherever it is that he has for me to go. Now, when you're willing to grow and you're willing to endure those little pains that you have to go through to grow, it's much sweeter. You know what I mean? You enjoy it more. You don't see it as. I believe that someone who is willing to get it God's way with God through God versus somebody else that got it another way. Somebody that got it the other way with millions could have, to me, less than someone who only got, say, thousands, but they're getting it the right way because it's more than $1. And that what Gary said yesterday? Abundance isn't just about a dollar amount. He came to so that we may have life and have it more abundantly. We have more time than Christ had. We have more ability to reach more people than Christ did. We have the ability to do so much. That's why he put it on the inside of us to do. We get to do the things that he planted inside of us to do because he knew he wasn't going to be here to do it. We don't run out when we apply it right in life. Even when I have nothing, I have everything. That's how I feel. My eyes be looking like, what the hell? But no matter what, I've never gone without. I may have had to have a little less sometimes, but I've never gone without. There's always been some kind of way. I can remember months not really having money after I pay my bills, but I was always eating. And I'm like, where's this money coming from? Kind of like that lady when she poured that oil. Like right now where I'm at, I have to put all my faith in God and stand on believing that whatever oil that I pour, it ain't gonna ever run out. I have everything that I have need of. Even when I don't have it, I have it. I have it. It's in my hand. I have it. It's in my heart. I have it. It's in my thoughts. I can write the vision and make it plain and make something else manifest that I didn't have yesterday. We're never without. It might not yield a ROI right away, but if you don't do it or if you don't plant the seed, like Gary said earlier, what do you get? Absolutely nothing. Some of us right now got seeds that we planted that are about ready for the picking. We just have to be patient to, like Gary just said. Christ is my firm foundation. I don't know the rest of the song. I put my faith in Jesus. So why won't he? Why would he stop now? He won't. He won't. He won't fail. He won't fail. No, let me quit. He'll never fail you. That's why it's good to have your faith intact. That's why it's good to make sure that you operate. I don't care if it's just a tiny bit of faith. Activate that mustard seed today. And if you don't know what a mustard seed look at, I encourage you to go buy some and look at how tiny that thing is. Then you'll be saying, man, mustard seed, I got at least a watermelon seed. This ain't nothing. I got cantaloupe size faith. I got water. Man, I got faith the size of Notre Dame. When you look at the size of a mustard seed and think that's all I need, then you see how much more you really truly do have. It's not that we don't have it. I think we've just misplaced our focus on a lot of things. And what's your eyeballs for, Willis? My rep solos and I didn't know the words. That's okay. I'm singing for the Lord. As the man in Charleston say, I'm singing for the Lord. Dang, that nail shop look like a nightclub. That's a window shopper. I don't know where the light at. Yeah. So, um, if I had any last words to say is thank you, Gary, for the message about the storefront. I encourage everybody take a look on the inside of you and see what you possess in your storefront. You'd be surprised. And that one nagging thing that you think you don't have, that one thing that gets on your nerves the most, is probably what you have in abundance. Yes, that was the other thing. Watermelon said she's balanced. Go in your storefront, boo. I think whatever we're able to speak out our mouth that we need, it's already there. We just have to go in and get it and use it. I always believe if you're able to express something or articulate something, then you already have it. In most cases, like with a man and a woman, have you been cheating? 9 times out of 10, if a woman asks a man that question, she already know he is. That one thing you think you don't have is the thing you have a lot of for somebody else. It's just the enemy trying to make you think you don't have it. The enemy wants you to think you're off balance. Well, I need everyone to know you have balance. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, yeah, I've definitely come to the end of my meat talk, and we've had an interesting Bible study today. We are not making a mockery. We are simply thinking, what would it be like today if it were like this back then? But anyway, today's programming was brought to you by the letter K and W. Now let me quit playing. Hey Letitia, thank you. Appreciate you, girlfriend. Um, yeah, I hope I said something today that encouraged you to take another look at what you have, in your storehouse, to cause you to know that whatever it is you have need of, in most instances, all you have to do is open your mouth. You're either going to ask or say thank you. We have to put down pride sometime, and, you know, help is available. Whether we're going to go to God and ask Him for help in prayer, or if He directs you to go to a particular person and ask for help. God knows everything and He can do anything. So don't ever be surprised. Don't ever say what He won't do. Because you wouldn't have paid me $10 million to believe I would go to church one morning and say, pray for my faith. And I wind up with, yeah, I haven't said a dollar amount, but I'll tell you it was 500 over the goal. And they didn't say, well, give us this 500 and you just take what what your goal was. And I know I didn't ask for anything. So no one can tell me what God won't do. Ever. Because He know what you need. And He'll make a way out of no way when you least expect it. Expect the unexpected is what we say. So once again, I hope I've said something today that encouraged you, that sparked something in you, that stirred you up a little bit. It caused you to think differently. If it wasn't something that helped you today, or maybe you already had it and it just reminded you, share with a friend. Sharing is caring. As always, you're more than welcome to hit the Cash App. But most importantly for me, it is to hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Um, I truly appreciate everybody that showed up. Mr. Busted Down, Community Wall Brown, Atmosphere Realist, Letitia. Who else was here? Am I missing somebody? I know I am. Oh, Maritza was here. Yeah, I think I got everybody. And we also want to appreciate the ones that are normally here at Atmosphere. What's her name? Watermelon. I was about to say Apple Water. I don't know what I was about to say. Watermelon, Selena. Who Who else be over here? Word. If you were in where you be at today, hey. I didn't tag nobody, so don't feel like I didn't tag you. Everybody, Double Speaks, Bolo, Uncle L, everybody that ever showed up over here, all y'all's. I appreciate you. I appreciate you the most. Hmm, I think we on to something, brother Gary. Let's go on and keep working this storehouse because I think it's actually chapters to this. And I'm not saying it necessarily in the sense of a book, but in lives, you know what I'm saying? Because it can be applied to so many aspects in life. You was slack. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so again, I had fun today. I thank y'all for sharing time with me and chopping up with me and interacting with me. You guys just don't know. Y'all stir my faith. Okay. You truly do, honestly. Some days it's hard, but I always know if I done had any kind of hard day, I got my honey and I got my homies over here on the YouTube. Fair use. I'm just kidding. Anywho, until next time, I love you guys. Truly, truly love you guys with the love of the Lord. No, I'm just kidding. I love y'all. Thank you for tuning in. And if you're on the replay, leave me a message and let me know you were here because I truly, truly love when y'all let me know y'all were here on the replay. Until next time, bye bye now.